Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. The 59-year-old was rescued from the devastating crash on Tuesday morning at around 10:30 a.m. local time. She was admitted to intensive care at Menorca Hospital in the holiday hotspot's capital Mahone after being rushed from the scene. At the time of the crash, she was in the vehicle with one other Brit who was also injured. Local reports said one of the three cars was driven by a 21-year-old Spaniard who was also critically injured. They were also taken to the same intensive care unit as the British woman after the horrifying pileup involving three cars. It is believed the Spanish man strayed onto the wrong side of the M1 road near Alire as he headed in the direction of Mahone. Firefighters also had to cut him out of his vehicle after the devastating collision. Two women aged 19 and 29, one of whom is Spanish, were also taken to hospital. Pictures from the scene of the crash showed the mangled wreckage of two of the cars involved. An ambulance service spokesman confirmed the severity of the incident. They said, 3 cars were involved and 5 people injured. Firefighters had to free 2 of the casualties, a woman aged around 60 and a man in his 20s. One of the 5 injured people were treated at the scene and didn't require a hospital transfer. In September last year, a Brit dad and his 2 sons were injured in a head-on fatal crash in Menorca. The trio were traveling in a taxi which smashed into a rental car carrying a female passenger who died. It also comes after 2 Brit Gulf trippers were decapitated after a suspected drug trafficker's speedboat came loose and smashed into their car on a Spanish motorway last November. The boat reportedly came off a trailer and flew through the air at 120 km per hour before brutally hitting their seat Leon as they traveled near the popular resort of La Manga. More to follow. For the latest news on this story, keep checking back at The Sun online. TheSun.co.uk is your go-to destination for the best celebrity news, real-life stories, jaw-dropping pictures, and must-see video. Ellie Martin, 32, from Brighton, had been vacationing in Menorca for just 4 days. A graphic designer with a wild love for photography, she was known among her friends for her spontaneous trips, always chasing beauty with a camera in hand. Her Instagram page overflowed with sunrises from Bali, foggy London mornings, and laughter-soaked group shots from the Scottish Highlands. This trip to Menorca, however, was different. She was traveling alone. Fresh from a difficult breakup and a burnout diagnosis from her doctor, Ellie had boarded the plane to Mahone with a suitcase full of linen dresses, paperbacks, and a heart desperately seeking healing. The island had welcomed her with open arms, quiet beaches, cobbled streets, and the kind smiles of the locals. It was just what she needed. That morning, she had rented a small white Fiat Panda to explore the lesser-known northern coast. She never made it to her final destination. At approximately 7:42 p.m., just outside the sleepy village of Fornells, local emergency services received a frantic call. A collision had occurred on the coastal road, a narrow stretch carved into a hillside, overlooking the sea. A car had veered across the lane, colliding head-on with another vehicle. Ellie's rental car had crumpled like paper under the impact. Witnesses described a sickening noise, the screech of tires, the tearing of metal, and then silence, broken only by the sound of the sea crashing below. The other driver, a local delivery man in his 40s, sustained minor injuries and was able to call for help. But Ellie was found unconscious, slumped over the wheel, her phone buzzing with missed calls from her sister, Alice. Now, she lies in a medically induced coma in Mahone's Menorca Hospital, a world away from her family, her friends, and the city life she knew. Alice Martin was the first to arrive in Menorca, catching the first flight from Gatwick after receiving the call no sibling ever wants to hear. She was just finding herself again, Alice told a local journalist, her voice cracking with every syllable. She wasn't running away. She was healing. She was trying. Doctors have confirmed Ellie suffered significant trauma, multiple fractures, a collapsed lung, and a severe head injury. The prognosis is cautious. They say the next 48 hours are critical. Word of the crash has rippled across social media. Friends from across the UK have been posting stories and prayers under the hashtag #WakeUpEllie. Strangers are sending messages. Donations for medical costs and travel expenses have been pouring in via GoFundMe, set up by Alice within hours of landing in Spain. In one post, a friend wrote, If anyone can survive this, it's Ellie. She's fought darker battles. We're not ready to lose her light. And light she was. Ellie was the friend who remembered your birthday without needing Facebook to remind her.